What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cabbage Video Hub. I'm here with my co-host, Yo. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's a nice chill day.
Oh
Very,
yeah,
very
it's been a
relaxing.
while. The holidays really kept us going for a while, huh?
Yeah, we got a little busy. We couldn't coordinate.
Ima
That was actually
Imagine
that was a really
having a life. Content creators
impossible.
only make content. They don't do anything else.
Bro, we're gamers.
I
What you mean
know.
we have a life?
Oh
This
yeah, that's
heresy
true. That's
can't be
true.
happening.
Anyway, so I guess I mean by the time I upload this, it should be by the end of 2022 or starting 2023 off. So I guess we can start off by what have been your favorite movies of the years, yo?
Ooh, of this year?
Yeah, of this year. There's been a lot of really good ones. I haven't
Ooh.
been able to watch like some of them, but um I do have my own personal favorites.
All right. So I think we'll hit this right out of the gate with the number one, the Batman.
Batman, yes. Batman
The
is literally
Batman,
number one.
fantastic.
I think it's like not even a hot take. I think that's just a fair thing to say for your favorite movie of 2022. Cause
Well,
like,
it depends on which circles you say that in. If
oh
you say it
yeah,
on Twitter, then like
if
you're
you
gonna
say on
have these
Twitter, you're gonna
99.
have a fucking cesspool of bullshit. But Batman is just a perfect movie.
It was very, very good, and I loved it. And then I would say number two, of course, the actual best movie of the year, Black Adam, of course.
Yeah, the best movie is Black Adam. Yeah, sure. Can't
No,
even man,
I
my man can't even get a fucking sequel, and it's the best. It's like
hey,
second best
hey,
movie.
man, listen. We don't really care if we see Black Adam again. We just want to
We
see
just wanted the
Doctor
one.
Fate and
We
Hawkman.
just
Like
wanted
we
Doctor Fate. It really should have been called Doctor Fate.
for real, because like we want Pierce Brosnan, Doctor Fate back,
Yeah,
and then we want Aldous Hodge as Hawkman back, and that's really all I like. That's what I love about that movie. But in reality, my number two is Avatar: The Way of the Water.
yeah. I still haven't gotten a chance to really see it yet. I'm thinking about seeing a movie this week, but it's just probably going to be Puss in Boots.
Yeah, I need to see that
That's
one as
literally
well.
just what's going to
I,
be it. It's just gonna be Puss in Boots.
I think that might be like when I see it, that might actually be number two, or because I've been hearing like really good things.
I've been hearing surprisingly fantastic things about it. Like
Okay,
I wasn't
the
too
one
fond
that
of the
was
first
like
movie either, and that's the weird thing about it.
the one that was really confusing for me was hearing people describe it as like the Logan for Puss in Boots, and I'm like, what does that mean?
What? There's only two movies. What do you mean the Logan for Puss in Boots? There's like two
Not even
movies.
that. I'm like, is Puss gonna just die? Like,
I don't
gonna,
know. I don't
what's
know.
that?
I don't know. That might be we might have just gotten spoiled with that. I don't know.
Like,
We'll have to
it's
see it.
either
We'll have to see it.
he's like really depressed.
Yeah.
Am I what? Wait, we're going to a movie? For what? What time? Oh, I guess I'm seeing Puss in Boots at 7 tonight.
It's okay. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, I shall be coming.
That's
Uh,
what the fuck.
that's dude. Ears
That's
were
crazy.
burning.
Anyways, all right. Whatever.
I wonder if we should keep that in.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that in just because it's fun. I think that's like a funny coincidence. I'm keeping that in.
Oh man, but yeah, Avatar 2, really good. I was saying it on stream before I got here.
Right.
Good old Jimmy Movies has earned his ego.
Unless you're on Twitter, in which case they hate you for liking James Cameron.
Dude, it's like Twitter is just the hate.
I don't know why, but like I see everyone like talk about how the Avatar movies are just so James Cameron can soak his ego. I'm like, huh? Like what?
It's not really like I'll give you that. Like he was definitely getting like a lot more vocal and like bold with his statements going around
Right.
before the movie. And I think he like combated the criticism people had towards the movie, because I think also Twitter is really the only place where I've seen people hating on the movie. Like
Right.
even in like some YouTube circles, it's really just like a few people here and there that don't like Avatar. And it's for very specific reasons. that they don't like Avatar, that I can kind of get. I just like, I think the movie's, yeah, that's a simple premise for the first one. I think it's executed really, really well. Like,
yeah, I don't know, it's weird. But I would say that personally, my couple favorite ones, obviously the Batman is my number one, but I don't know if anybody has seen this because it's got a little bit under the radar for advertisement. But See How They Run is such a fucking fun movie. Like,
which one?
See How They Run.
See How They Run.
Yeah, have you seen that?
I have not. Oh,
yeah.
By the way, they just walked back in. Apparently, I'm not seeing Puss in Boots tonight.
Oh, damn. Well, that's the saddest thing. All right,
there's like 4 seats in the theater.
Wow.
Pain.
That's just pain. But yeah, See How They Run is such a fantastic movie. It uses like the whodunit style of movies so well.
You actually brought up you just jogged my memory. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, but it used the whodunit like style of murder mystery so well because it acknowledges it, and then like the funniest running gag that I will never get tired of is when they talk about early in the movie is that how what they do in whodunit movies is so tired and unoriginal, but then they end up doing the thing in the actual movie anyways. It's so funny. There was such really irony behind it. It's great, but I hate that it wasn't in theaters. It got sent straight to HBO Max because, of course, why the fuck wouldn't it? But yeah, it's really good.
So that reminds me of the other thing that was that So you jogged my memory. Knives Out, Glass Onion.
Oh yeah, I still haven't gotten a chance to see it. I know it's on Netflix, but I really should see it. And the first one, I really need to catch up on a lot of movies.
It's like that was the weird thing with that movie was it dropped in theaters for like a week and then Netflix pulled it.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Which was like really weird. They pulled it cuz like I could understand like all right, it's in theaters for like a month and then you pull it. But like why a week? Or maybe it was 2, but even still like why 1 to 2 weeks in theater?
Yeah, it is weird.
I don't understand it. The movie was good though. It actually had one of my it has some of my favorite jokes and like bits of comedy in there. Because this was shot and filmed during COVID. They do a joke where God, I'm trying to remember. Ethan Hawke shows up in the beginning of the movie to like everybody's wearing their masks as they meet, and then Ethan Hawke comes around and like injects everybody with something, and Benoit Blanc is like, "I'm sorry, what is this?" And Ethan Hawke just goes, "You're good." I'm like,
that is a great joke. Oh, God, I really need to watch the Knives Out movies. I've been wanting to see them, but I really want to see them after I seen See How They Run because I'm starting to love murder mysteries a lot more now. They're a lot of fun.
Whodunits are a lot of fun.
I think realistically, a lot of my top movies of 2022 are animated stuff.
Good.
There's Pinocchio, which is after See How They Run, which is fantastic. It does get a little dry in the middle and like in the third act a little bit, but it's still good. It's still really good.
It was very cool. The animation for it was very.
Okay, the thing that I really loved about Pinocchio is that Del Toro was so fucking good at just playing around with tones. Like he experimented with tone a lot in the movie, and you can really see that just pay off in the first act where you have this very creepy wooden doll with like very like spider-like animation as he's like going around like twisting his bodies and his bones around, and it's like this whimsical music playing in the background. He's like smashing things and destroying things. It's so great.
Yeah, honestly, I want to watch it again because I watched it myself. I watched it by myself without my family. Now I'm like, well, all right, now you guys got to watch it.
Look, man,
it's better than that other Pinocchio that
other 2022 Pinocchio.
Which, like, in all honesty, that like the other Pinocchio one is just fine.
The only
Like,
okay, look, the only thing you gotta know about the 2022 Pinocchio, if you haven't seen it, there's a scene where all the clocks are going off, and it's just a bunch of like references to other Pixar movies, and it's like loud and obnoxious and everything going off all at once. That's pretty much Pinocchio and the state of Disney entirely.
well, no, Strange Worlds was good.
So,
But
Strange World, I still haven't seen Strange World, but I need
that
to see
was
it.
good. Go see it.
I need to see it, man. Look, I've been procrastinating on so much. I'll get to it. It's fine. It's fine.
I will say, like, the animated movies that I'm most excited for, which we're gonna talk about.
Oh yeah, we're definitely talking about that.
But like, what I really like about Puss in Boots is animation style is it's like Spiderverse came out and kind of like just blew everyone away with its style.
Exactly.
And I've seen a lot of like different animation kind of mimicking it in a sense. I mean, like for TV animation, Arcane came out and just was insane. Yeah. And it had like this kind of painting quality to it in Arcane, which you kind of see that with you actually see that with Puss in Boots, like in the trailer.
Right, there's like a bit of like paintbrush effects going on.
Well, yes, so it has the same. It has the same like by twos style that Spider-Verse does, but where Spider-Verse has like the dots and like the style of textures to like mimic a comic book.
Right.
Puss in Boots has this kind of like watercolor painting aesthetic to go with it, and that is really, really cool. It's nice to see a lot of it's nice to see different animation studios like
look, man,
get this new style that came out, and then how do we make it unique in our own?
Right.
Okay, so they did comic book style. Let's make this more like watercolor painting.
I love how Spider-Verse is 4 years old and is still the most influential animation movie put to film.
Dude, I saw a tweet that some dude like made it 60 frames.
Yeah, no, that was horrendous. That was fucking terrible.
It was the most uncomfortable thing I ever watched.
Sick. I felt like legitimately sick watching it.
Like any weight that you get from their movements too.
Like not everything has to be 60 FPS. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you? There's a reason why they slow down the frames in those scenes.
60 frames works nicely for like video games.
Yeah, video games. That like movies, it looks fucking weird. It looks like I'm watching a video game cutscene, and I shouldn't like feel that when I'm watching a movie.
If
I wanted to feel like I'm playing a video game or watching a movie, I'd just watch fucking The Last of Us cutscenes.
Speaking of that, by the way.
Oh dear God, what have I done?
Oh well, it's more it's video game news that pissed me off. The next project that Naughty Dog is working on.
Oh really? Is it The Last of Us Part 3?
We don't know. It's either we know they're working on a new IP, but the thing that bothers me about it was him saying, we're approaching this like it's a TV show for the game. And I'm just sitting here like,
oh dear God. How about you don't? How about you treat it like a video game, my guy?
Yeah. I'm like, can you approach it like a video game?
I know, it's crazy.
Like, there you go. Because at this point, I'm like, bro, just stick to The Last of Us TV show.
Or just like make your own TV show. If you want to make a TV show, make a TV show.
Yeah, like
what? I don't know.
Like make a Telltale style. Like at least at this point, we don't know what the game is going to be. So if like they want to do a Telltale style game, the TV format will work there because that's what that style of game is made to be. But if you're trying to make like a game with a TV format to it, are you gonna like procedurally drop? Like, is this going to be procedurally dropped content every week? I got to tune back in on like Tuesday to play my favorite game or whatever. I swear to God, I swear to God, if they were doing
that's terrible.
Like,
but anyways, 2022, like for movies in general, was kind of messy. But then at the end, at like the last 3 months, it dropped like literal perfection, and that's like the weird thing. it was
Yeah, it
so
dropped a lot
bad,
of
like
good
the first half, and then the second half, it was so good.
Well, like, so we started it off good with the Batman,
Right, right.
and then, and then, Multiverse of Madness
Oh dear
hit.
God.
Oh wait, we did start it off well with it was actually the Batman and Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, yeah.
Those hit really strong.
All right, that's
Then
like two movies.
then we went to Multiverse of
We went
Madness.
into all the Marvel stuff basically, and that's where it started went down.
And that's like the worst part of it was we hit Multiverse of Madness, we hit Love and Thunder, which honestly was worse because it was just so like disconnected.
Yeah.
It was trying to be it was trying to be a lot of things, but not doing the legwork to connect either of those things.
Right.
Like, and then what was that? Amsterdam, I think it was. That one came out that had like that huge cast of Christian Bale, Taylor Swift, Anya Taylor-Joy was in it. It was like a massive cast, but it was like super weird and like awkward going through, and like not the charming kind of weird and awkward that like Wes Anderson movies are, but like the actual just I can't get a sense of this. It just feels off the entire time.
Right.
Kind of weird.
I mean, but you know, everything kind of came full circle in the end. We got like a bunch of really good movies back to back, which I'm happy for. I'm especially happy for animation because animation was really fucking terrible until the latter half of the year.
Yeah, like I think Wakanda Forever kind of stopped that train wreck a little bit because it wasn't like amazing or anything. It was just fine. Like it was just a fine movie. And then Pinocchio came out, and that kind of like saved things.
Pretty much, and you know, I'm really excited. I would say that 2022 has been a good year for animation, but at the same time, I'm working on my top list for 2022 anime movies. I have like 13, and I've tried to see like all of them. I've only like not seen a couple of them.
This year, wasn't it?
What's that?
Rise of the TMNT was this.
Yes,
this year,
that was such a great movie. Oh my god, that's such
a
fucking amazing movie. That's so good. I love it.
That one was really good.
But I was really trying to force my way to watch like any anime movie that I could grab my hands on that would be good for the entire year, and I have like 13.
Hey, aren't you excited though for RWBY X Justice League that's coming out?
What?
Exactly. It's on topic of the whole WB animation thing, because that's part of the reason why we're watching so many animated products is because of the WB animation shit that happened.
Yeah.
And but don't worry, WB is keeping RWBY X Justice League.
Oh boy, am I excited for that. Woohoo.
All right, I have a goddamn rant for you on that one, because I am so furious at the fact that thing, whatever the hell it is, because I saw the teaser for it. It shows in like Maya, which RWBY for like what it is as kind of a web series that started that doesn't have normal runtimes or whatever. It's a smaller. It's based out of Rooster Teeth and all that. For what it was when it was smaller and stuff, the animation quality was fine. Now you're working with bigger IPs and bigger companies. You have no excuse now. You should be having better looking stuff than what you have, and the models in the teaser that they gave us just look so bad.
I was half expecting
the design.
I was half expecting you to say that that stayed, but Young Justice still got canceled.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Okay, I was about to say like I'm pretty sure you were leading to that.
I am. God, I'm still furious about that. But like the designs for Superman and for Bruce are just so whack because they give Clark this weird abomination of of Superboy's suit. His logo is just solid yellow, so it's really hard to tell like where the S starts. There's no color, like there's no red to background it, so the S just kind of like stands there, and you're like, what is this? I don't. Where's the where's the S? Who's this character?
It's the color yellow.
I don't get it. It's just a yellow shield that I don't understand it, and it looks horrible. And so you have this thing that nobody aside from like outside of the RWBY community, which isn't that big in comparison to other communities, you have that show staying alive and getting a movie. Whereas a show built up entirely of DC characters that are like Nightwing alone is bigger than anything RWBY can hope to do. You're telling me that show got the axe and RWBY survived. Ha!
There it is. There's a scream.
Why? Like, why? Fucking why? Somebody tell me why. James Gunn, please tweet to me and tell me why that is still alive.
So anyway, speaking of James Gunn, you want to talk about some Superman?
Look, I love him. I'm sad that Henry's gone. Oh. I am glad that Snyder Superman is gone. It has like I don't even like lump Cavill in to Snyder Superman. He's too good for that. He's too good. I feel bad for him that like he came back Black Adam and then like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, but...
like it was just all right. Yeah, he's gone,
dude. And that sucks. Like the first week that it happened, just seeing everybody just spam hashtag fire Gunn over that one decision that technically that was kind of out of his power if you think about it a little bit.
Well, like the other thing though is there's no way to go. Like there's barely any way to go forward with the Snyder characters.
Like
there's just no way to go because
most of them are either gone.
You either continue the characters and just disregard everything that Snyder like set. I don't even know if he set up because I can't even like say it for good reason. The only like positive stuff I would say from Snyder, like anything that Snyder had his hands on, or at least that is connected to the Snyderverse, would be Aquaman and Shazam. Like Aquaman was really fun. Jason Momoa was great. Unfortunately, it was tainted by someone who gives redheads a bad name. But like Aquaman was really fun. Shazam was a really good time. And was like kind of a breath of fresh air for it. The Suicide Squad can pretty much be disconnected from James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Can pretty much be disconnected from anything else and still work like as going forward in whatever DC stuff they want to do. But it's also like it doesn't need like a sequel. It could literally just be a standalone thing.
Yeah. Like perfect. The Suicide Squad is such a comfort movie in every way. So I love it, man. And everyone who says that the Suicide Squad is bad can just like I don't even know.
Like the thing,
Snyder cultists.
The thing with James Gunn's movies sometimes is that he puts a lot more of a focus on character, which I appreciate.
Yes,
and I really like.
We need more character-driven stories.
The characters drive the plot, and sometimes that can end up with moments where like the plot doesn't have like 100% airtightness, which I don't really think any plot can get 100% airtight, but like it's things aren't as, tightly wound as they could be, but I give it the pass because the characters drive the movie so well.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that is the strength of his movies
Look,
going.
just because
Like,
people take out of context like one or two jokes that don't land doesn't mean the whole movie's bad, which I'll get to out of context things in a minute.
but yeah,
But
like
anyway.
just restarting with the DC stuff is really the best way to go. What I hope is that going forward, it's going to be a case of they figured out that doing pretty much self-contained stories like in the movies is the better way to go, because that's what they've been doing. Like, those movies have been a lot better. They're focused on doing their self-contained stuff, and that's where it is. And like, and then they could do, if they want to do a Justice League, they could just have them come together for a movie. The Justice League is there, cool. Once the Justice League does their stuff, they have it in the background of like, they can just have it in the background for after a whole bunch of other self-contained movies afterwards. The Justice League comes back together to face another threat.
Right.
And there you go. Like that I think would be a much better way to go about doing it. Because the other thing that I keep getting into this too is like, there's no reason, like, the thing with a connected universe is if you're doing a movie, like a self-contained movie that follows one person, there's no reason to explain where any of the other like characters are. There's no like the movie doesn't need to explain where or what Superman is doing while Batman is fighting for Gotham.
Right.
And like the Gotham City is under threat. The movie like doesn't have to explain that because it's not something that's relevant to the movie. And it's the strength of not giving an answer and trusting your audience to assume that, oh, Superman must be busy doing something else, and so that's why he's not there in the movie.
Yeah, and I think
it really only becomes an issue later on if in a Superman movie or in a movie later on down the line or whatever, they reference a previous thing of like, oh, hey, remember when Gotham was under threat and like shit was going real bad, and Superman is just like, no, when did this happen? That's when you kind of have a problem.
Right.
But if you're smart, you're not really going to do that as a writer. You're going to it'll be a very easy thing of, oh yeah, I was taking care of business myself. Sorry, I would have come, but like I had my own stuff going on. Yeah, and that's really it.
And I think that what people kind of don't want to admit is that they're realistically just tired of connected universes, because they they want to get so invested in a connected universe, but like in theory it sounds really cool, but in practice most of the time you're going to be doing a lot of homework and trying to catch up to a lot of things, which is a problem that the MCU has had for a lot of time. So they're realistically getting mad that James Gunn is probably not going to do a connected universe like what the Snyderverse attempted to do. But when they go and see the movies, they're probably not going to like it because they have to catch up on so many things.
Yeah, and like the other thing is that it's just not doing that in movies is just not. It's not the medium to go for, because movies can't support that kind of long form storytelling, like how like a show can.
Right.
Or
and that's what TV shows are for.
Yeah, because then in those shows you get to even in some shows that are just very self-contained, like take I'll use this as an example. Young Justice does a connected universe world very well by having we have the team going through, made up of a bunch of different characters, and through those characters we get to explore the rest of the world and what's going on, and we're constantly being shown that there's other things happening in this world. So whenever another character doesn't show up for a certain thing, it's a very easy assumption, because the show has already like conditioned you for it, that when a character doesn't show up, they're busy with some other crime going on in the world.
Right.
And it's very, very smartly done.
Yeah, I still think that James Gunn has everything under control. What happened with Cavill is really sad, because Cavill deserves so much more. He obviously really loved playing Superman, and even though he's not my favorite Superman, I'm still really sad that he didn't get the chance that he needed to play the character that he loves. But I'm still very confident in Gunn's decisions and what he wants to do with the character. Because seeing a young Superman is actually kind of a cool idea. I hope that they don't go overly like political with it, because that's always been like the weird thing with Superman in movies, is that they go like really political about Superman, and it kind of fumbles the ball for me a lot of times, because they try to over dramatize what Superman is, when all you really need is just a simple story about a man who has a lot of hope for the world, and a lot of people just kind of hate him for it.
Yeah, he's a doughy-eyed farm boy from Kansas.
Exactly, and that's really realistically all you need. Like,
he lives in the best.
Like simple characters are not always boring.
No, they are very like. There's a difference too between like a static character and an actual flat character. Like a flat character is what people think Superman is, which is just like it's the emblem. It's kind of emblematic of you haven't consumed more media of Superman beyond the movie that is very recent, which pretty much like I blame Snyder for failing Cavill more than I blame Gunn for what happened, because Snyder really dropped the ball.
Yeah,
actually, no, not even. I wouldn't even say Snyder. I would say Goyer, the guy who wrote the scripts, dropped the ball. Oh yes, Snyder was there in the seat with him. Goyer is the one that wrote the movie and fumbled the ball.
Right.
So, like, it's just unfortunate that it puts up a lot of these. It puts a lot of the movie, what I like to call the MJ Rogue treatment, where the movies fail certain adaptations and make people believe that the characters aren't actually that cool. Like how Mary Jane, thanks to the Raimi movies, is considered a bitch and just screams all the time. Or how Rogue in the X-Men movies is constantly portrayed as just really, really down, kind of a wet blanket going through, when in the comics, both those characters are wildly different and really cool.
That never they get superpowers, but we don't need to talk about that.
Oh, well, listen, I can go on a soapbox about that, because that's not a bad idea in concept, and it's worked before. It's just bad right now because we haven't gotten any time with MJ in the comics. Like, we don't get any time with her, but that's a different soapbox. Let's not get into it.
Yeah, we need to get into good Spider-Man content, which is obviously across Spiderverse, which is absolute perfection. I love it.
Mayday's here.
Yes, I love it. The baby. Okay, now did you see her in the trailer? Because I know where she is in the trailer.
She's removed in one shot, and then you can kind of see her hair in another shot.
No, like you can like there's I think it was like the panning shot where you see like all the main Spider-Man looking up at the something, and like Mayday's just like you can kind of see Mayday like next to Peter B in his little seat thing.
Yeah,
it's hard to see, but it is.
I'll have to look back, but yeah, she's here. I'm so happy.
I love it.
I hope to God editorial this movie succeed. All right, I'm saying it right now though. For anyone who's listening, if they do anything to hurt Peter B in some way where he ends up dead, we review bomb the movie.
Exactly, review bomb
because
Peter Parker should be allowed to be happy.
Let him have a family and a parent. I trust Lord and Miller because they're pretty smart and they're really good at making movies, so I trust them. They already broke the mold by having him go back and be happy. Like they basically
exactly.
I talked about this on stream. Like Peter B comes into the story and he's basically what Spider-Man has been for the past like 10 years since since One More Day like destroyed things
Right.
for a bit. He's a loser that was broken up, living in a crappy apartment. Like they made the divorce actually work, and they made the breakup not something stupid like giving up your marriage to save your aunt who was about 5 seconds away from dying anyway on every single day of the year. Girl's literally been on death's door for the past 50 years of Spider-Man comics. You think selling your soul and marriage to the devil is going to keep her alive any longer? Anyway, they do it really well by actually having him grow past it and then becoming happy. Which, yes, thank you.
I can't believe a single movie just fixed the problems with Peter Parker in literal like decades. Like,
well, it hasn't happened in the comics yet. What we're hoping for. Like, this is the one thing that like Spider-Man Twitter is unified on, is we're hoping to God that this movie does enough, like there's enough press around and like focus around Mayday and Peter B like being happy that it pressures Marvel into, like, this is the one time all of Spider-Man's Twitter is like, brand synergy, please, for the love of God, brand synergy.
This is the rare Spider-Man Twitter W that they get.
Yeah. There's also like, if the other thing we're kind of unified on is if Ben Reilly shows up in the Chasm suit, we review bomb the movie. Like,
is that like the high tech suit I was thinking of?
No, Chasm is a thing we don't want to talk about. Just go read my blog and you'll see it. And we don't want to talk about it. But yeah, like Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, and Mayday and Peter B are like the two things in this movie that everyone is like, don't mess up, do not blow this, because they've been screwed over in the comics for so long.
Oh
like,
dear God, that's what the suit looks like.
You looked it up? Yeah, it's nah. We don't like. You're gonna have to put it on screen at this point. Like,
that's terrible.
We don't like it. We don't see Scarlet Spider, way better. Sensational Spider-Man suit, way better. Beautiful, perfect. We love it. Chasm,
dude. But everything about Across Spider-Verse trailer is little perfection. Not just the animation, just everything about it. Just seeing all the different Spider-Man and all the cameos, it's great. There's PS1 Spider-Man, there's PS4 Spider-Man, there's motherfucking spectacular.
Oh God. Okay, so you saw the thing that Josh Keaton did.
I did.
Right?
Yeah.
The Carol. I don't know if he intended that as a joke. I want it to be for real.
That was such a fun time.
It's a great song, and he ends it to like, my story was cut short, so please put me back on the screen. I'm like, yes, absolutely.
I hope that's real. I really hope it's a thing that's gonna happen. Maybe after Across the Spider-Verse, who knows?
I hope so. All right, so realistically, Spectacular Spider-Man's on the poster. He's in the front row.
Yeah.
What I realistically, what I think we'll be getting, is I think we will get him in the background. And then possibly, like, best case scenario is him in the background, and we also travel to his universe, because we do know that we are going to be visiting at least 10 universes, because there's going to be 10 distinct animation styles on display. So that is at least present with the different Spider people they've showcased, because we got Miles. We have Peter B, we have Gwen, Miguel, Jessica Drew, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Man India, Hobie, and then so that's 9. And so that's 9 animation styles right there that we see. Like, for sure, I'm pretty sure we'll be visiting their universes. So it'll be really cool.
I know for sure it was confirmed that we're seeing Gwen's universe.
Yeah,
that was confirmed that we're seeing that.
We're seeing for sure Miles, Gwen, Miguel, India, and maybe Hobie's.
Maybe I
I'm
really
not
want
sure
to see
about.
Spider-Punk's universe because his art style
Yeah,
looks
his art
really
style's
cool.
cool.
I really want
His
to
art
see his
style.
universe just for that reason alone.
Yeah, so like that's the best case scenario for Spectacular is that we get to see him in the background doing stuff. The like pipe dream case scenario is that Josh is actually in the movie and Spectacular has like a role to play.
I that's a little too ambitious, but maybe.
Yeah,
Who
I think
knows?
that's unlikely.
I
Can
think that
hope.
might only happen just because of how big of a name Spectacular Spider-Man is. That's probably the only
Yeah,
reason why people are like wishing for it to happen. Because
yeah,
he's been sidelined for so like he hasn't had his chance in another season that was canceled for so long that people are just hoping that this is his return, like as
yeah,
Spectacular Spider-Man, and not just a cameo. But
yeah.
that's a lot of
Which,
wishful thinking
the
when
other
you have
thing though,
so much to do.
the other thing though for people, stop like adding Greg Wiseman about this. He would not know at all. He is just the writer for the
Right.
for Spectacular. He's not privy to any other talks that might have been in play for Spectacular Spider-Man. The only one that might know a thing is Josh because he's the voice,
Exactly.
and they are synonymous. Like Spectacular is owned to get Spectacular like in the movie or something. It would have to be talks with like Sony and the other people that actually owned the rights, because I think it was like it's Spectacular is like split owned between so many different people.
Yeah.
But so yeah, stop bugging Greg Wiseman about it. There's no way he like. It's more than likely he doesn't know. If he does, and he's just like under NDA, still stop bothering him because he's got other stuff to talk about.
Right.
Like,
but I think we gotta put on this question out here. So why is every Spider-Man mad at Miles? What did Miles do?
I saw the best like joke tweet about it.
There's a lot of jokes about it. Like there's a lot of jokes about it.
The best one was the clip of all of them jumping after him as he falls to the sky, and it just says in all caps, "Oh no, they found out he's black." And I couldn't help it. I just started laughing. So
yeah, the joke tweets for that is so fucking hilarious.
Like people seeing the joke that it's Lotus Spider-Man is in charge. And Dude, the best decision was just making Miguel absolutely
He is fucking jacked
to all hell. This dude is
Miles reaches this man's knees.
Like,
he is fucking huge.
I really want to know what Miles did to deserve just getting choked, slammed,
beating. I really want to see.
The other thing too is that is so in character for Miguel, though. Like, dude is willing to throw hands with any Spider-Man that gets in his way.
And apparently he covers every other Spider-Man in the multiverse too, so...
Yeah, so I think it's going to be so I think what we got to is there's going to be a split divide where it's going to be Miguel and 2099 are on the same team. I think speculative. I think Ben is going to be on the same team as 2099, and the way I see it going, my theory about it is that the teams are going to be split from people who are they've kind of lost their way as Spider people,
right?
I think there's going to be a connection between Peter B and Miguel going of parent with the theme of parenting, basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of hinted at that Miguel lost a kid.
That's kind of my little theory on it too. Is that maybe that Collider accident did that Collider exposure at the end did fuck with the multiverse, and Miguel lost his kid, and that's probably why he's mad.
I don't know if we'll go that far with like the previous movie. I think they might want to leave that alone.
Probably, but that's just my little theory there.
Yeah, yeah. Like the other one I see too is like I could see Ben and Miguel, or not Miguel, Ben and Miles having a thing together where Miles and Ben are kind of in that same spot where perhaps in Ben's universe, Peter has a kid and wants to retire and is asking Ben to take over, but Ben doesn't know, like Ben doesn't want to deal with being in someone else's shadow or doesn't think he can step out of Peter's shadow. And who better to kind of show him, you know, you don't have to be in the previous Spider-Man's shadow because you could be your own Spider-Man than Miles, who literally went through that himself, where the previous Spider-Man died and he had to learn what being Spider-Man was for him to make it his own. And so I think that could be a really interesting thing going forward. As far as like Jessica Drew in the movie, I don't know what her deal is going to be. Perhaps there's something that her and Gwen can like commiserate on or whatever. I know Hobie's going to be on their side because he's Gwen's best friend, as we've learned from the after show party with Lord Miller and Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, I didn't get YouTube Premium, so I didn't watch that.
Oh, I got it. I'm sorry. I'll tell you. I gave you the deets. That's how I knew that Mayday was coming because they dropped.
Well, I saw it on Twitter, but
oh, dude, if you were like, I'm surprised you didn't hear my shout of joy from like across the country. But yeah, movie looks so good.
Yeah, and I do like the continuing theme they're doing it because I do remember seeing like a tagline from one of the official Twitters. I don't remember which one it was, but I do remember seeing like a tagline where it's not who wears the mask, it's how you wear it or something. Yeah, I do like that they're kind of continuing off of the themes that they established in the first movie and establishing a whole new theme that recontextualizes the old themes of the first movie. And that's really nice. Yeah. I do love that.
Because like that's the important thing too, that comes down to it for Spider-Man, because it goes back to the core too of like he was completely covered, so anyone could be Spider-Man. The important thing is not who's under the mask. The important thing is how you act while wearing the mask.
Exactly,
and that cuts more to the core of like Spider-Man as a character than almost any other movie has done. So like that. I really can't wait for it. The other thing, by the way, that I got super excited for was I saw Spinneret and Spiderling in the trailer, which is MJ and Annie.
Right.
Oh, I love it. I did see a couple memes. I did see a couple memes going around of, damn, I guess this comic panel is really taking everything by storm. And it's the comic panel confirming that MJ has a fatter ass and Black Cat. And
I really tried to see if that was faked. Apparently it's not.
It's real.
I guess it's
real. And I love it.
Dude,
it's
Spider-Man comics is so weird now.
No, dude, that came from a comic that like itself was really fun. Because you got to like it was MJ and Felicia just doing their own little thing in a one shot. That was actually some really fun character stuff. Where like you get to see how Felicia deals with the Peter and MJ stuff, where she even says she's like, I'm tired of being the bad girl in his story. That's all I am to people. And it's nice to see like MJ be like, that's not really the case, honey. Like I was also, because MJ was also like the bad girl.
Yeah.
That always did stuff. And it was Gwen who was the nice girl. And so it was a really fun like one-off. And then like 2 months later, Peter and MJ are broken up. But...
Love it. Peter can't be happy, man. Peter can't be happy, except Peter B. Parker, which outdoes the comics in general. Dude, Spider-Man in movies is now just better than the comics.
I saw a really funny GIF of it that came out afterwards, and it was like people putting their from Family Guy, they're putting their hands in like Spider-Man comics or Spider-Man games, Spider-Man TV shows, Spider-Man movies all together, and then a new guy comes in to try and put his hand in, and it says Spider-Man comics, and they just shoo him away. It's so true, man. Like it's at the point right now. Unless your name is and your suit is Miles. Don't read Spider-Man comics. Like Miles is in one issue. Miles's new run has already outclassed everything that the current run has done with Peter.
Yeah,
and it's
almost like Miles Morales is Spider-Man. Am I right, Twitter?
Dude,
Am I right?
Oh my god!
Right?
I got into that today. It's the same old. No, see, it's a factual statement that that Peter Parker made Spider-Man and that Miles isn't Spider-Man because Peter is Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, but you also realize it's factual as well that Miles is Spider-Man because in universe he is referred to as Spider-Man. Marvel also refers to him as Spider-Man.
Stan Lee referred to him as Spider-Man.
If he wasn't Spider-Man, they wouldn't call him Spider-Man.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And
dude, this has been happening like ever since the release of the trailer. I don't know why.
The funniest two were the Phantom Menace crew trying to state or trying to use what happened in the new Miles run. He goes up against Scorpion, and all Scorpion says in that comic is, "Oh man, the real Spider-Man couldn't come down here to face me. I'm stuck with the knockoff." And they jumped on that to try and they're like, "No, Scorpion, he has a point." And I'm like, "My guy,
this is the villain. You're not supposed to side with him." What?
I was like, "Let me get this straight. You're taking the word of the homicidal villain that goes around killing people. You're taking his word and using that as evidence for your side that Miles isn't Spider-Man." When, I just,
dude,
how do you not see that as like just so bad?
You need to talk to someone if you're siding with the homicidal maniac who kills people for fun.
Like the other thing too that this one guy got into it was talking about. He's like saying, "But Marvel said so" isn't an argument because Marvel is ran by a bunch of idiots. He goes on like, I'm not going to talk about the whole race swapping things as well.
Dear God.
But the other thing he says is they also made One More Day, so let's not act as if Marvel is some infallible, omnipotent force whose words can't be questioned or incorrect. So, but if you're going to say that though, conversely, that also puts Peter Parker's status as Spider-Man into question.
Exactly.
Because like if Marvel can be wrong, then they are also wrong that they can also be wrong that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Right.
Because
crazy. Take any single line that Stan Lee says referring to Spider-Man and it blows every argument like to shit.
It's the dumbest stuff to go off of. If you want to say that, like if you want to argue that Miles isn't the original Spider-Man, yes, you have a valid argument there because yes, Peter Parker was the original Spider-Man. But Miles is also Spider-Man. Ben Reilly is also Spider-Man. They are not the only Spider-Man. Like
it's almost like there's a trailer somewhere about on a movie of some kind where it shows just how many Spider-Man are in universe existing in the entire multiverse existing.
Even go back to the Spiderverse first trailer. That was like one of the first taglines in the trailer was, "The one thing I know is don't do it like me, do it like you."
Exactly. It's crazy.
From Peter B, the original Spider-Man that you guys want to talk about, is literally saying, "Bro, be Spider-Man. Don't do it like me, do it like you."
God, I hate when people take things out of context too. And this is the thing I was talking about earlier, where I saw someone like screenshot a scene from Into the Spiderverse where it says, "I'm Spider-Man and I the one and only," and he winks, and everyone says, "Bro, this is literally proof right here." I'm like, okay, now show me the next frame, literally the
Yeah.
next frame of the movie.
Well, there's only one Spider-Man, and you're looking at him, and it cuts right away to Miles. That is our Spider-Man.
Like, what? Dude, I don't know why people are now starting to take out of context such a perfect Spider-Man movie.
It's a weird thing too of like they just I honestly I feel like people just don't get it when the movie like cuts like for those kind of cuts in visual language in movies.
It's almost like film has this thing called literacy behind its filmmaking and its visuals and its editing.
Oh, that's been dead for years, man.
Dude, that really has.
Media literacy, what is this? In this economy? Nah.
So I'm just reminded of every time I hear Miles Morales isn't Spider-Man, is just that scene from SpongeBob where Man Ray is just trying to give Patrick the Waller, like, okay, this is Miles Morales, yes, yep. And it says in the movie that Miles Morales is Spider-Man, yes, yep, yep. And you can even see from past iterations that Miles Morales is not and Peter Parker is not the only Spider-Man, and Stan Lee has said himself that anyone can be Spider-Man, right? That makes sense to me. Then just admit that Miles Morales is Spider-Man, but he's not Peter Parker.
God, dude, the weirdest thing too, why is it just Miles that gets this treatment?
I know. Why not Ben Reilly? Why not Miguel?
Why not Miguel? Why not Hobie? Why not
there was no non-racist answer for this. I
don't understand. Like, I can get behind someone making the argument that Miles at his introduction was pretty bland as a character. And like that's valid because I don't think Bendis did a good job with Miles as a character in the beginning.
Yeah, the comics were like kind of like iffy.
Yeah, like it took Miles a bit to find his footing, whereas for Peter back in the 60s, Peter found it pretty well.
Right.
But Ben also it took a bit for Ben to get his footing in the comics as well. Not that Ben was really bland, it just took a bit for his character to take center stage and to be developed into a distinct character, because Ben Reilly is the original. He's just a copy of Peter Parker, because that's literally what he was. Like, he was intentionally created to be the original Peter Parker that people loved from those early comics, because they felt like there was an outcry that audiences thought that Peter was getting too dark and that Spider-Man was getting too dark and mature. Right. And they wanted, or not really too mature, it was just they wanted to go back to the lighthearted days. And so that's why they brought Ben Reilly back as the literal copy of Peter Parker.
And yet no one gets on Ben Reilly for being a one-to-one for Peter Parker and unoriginal. Crazy.
Especially at the start.
It's crazy.
Like, he was his own character as they started to develop him, like how Miles is now, that he's gotten a lot more development to make him distinct. So I really I don't even remember, nobody has this to say about Miguel, and I'm gonna be honest, you can kind of chalk that up to the fact that he, out of suit, he looks like a white guy.
Yeah.
So my question still is, why does everyone get this up in arms about Miles right now? Especially when talking about or using the movie or the games as your reference point, because the movies and the games have solidified Miles way faster as his own character and way better than the comics did.
Right.
So at this point, if you're going to be mad about Miles when talking about those, and even talking about the comics now, you got to do some real legwork to justify it and convince me that you're not. It's not race things.
Yeah, and it's like, look, I'm a reasonable guy, you know. I'm one who thinks that people are allowed to have their own opinions, you know. I really love Kenobi, but I can understand why people hate it. I fucking hate Black Adam, but I can understand why people love it. You're making it hard for me to try and understand why you really don't like Miles and your reasons behind it without it being related to racism in some way, shape, or form.
Because a lot of the reasonings too, it's all the buzzwords. It's very broad language because I don't believe from that language. I don't believe that you've actually read his stuff,
Right?
Or that you've actually watched anything surrounding him. It sounds like you're just parroting other people's language because you think that's exactly it, and you haven't watched or read the stuff. So like, read it, and if you can get into the specifics of it, I can understand it way better, and I won't and it won't come off as very sus that you're after Miles for very one specific reason. It's literally, if we could insert the or actually not insert, there's a really funny clip from Donald Glover's stand-up.
It's like we're really trying. We're grasping at straws here to not immediately go to racism because I didn't even do that.
I don't want to. I don't. You just make it really sus when you don't get it. Like when you're confronted on it and you keep repeating the same like bullet points of Peter made it. He's the original. He is the one and only. Here's the clip from X, Y, and Z, or here is the out of context thing to prove it. Or even the thing that drives me nuts the most is the clip of Stan Lee. You can play it into here where he goes.
You know, one of the greatest things about Spider-Man's outfit, his costume?
What?
He is completely covered. So any kid could imagine he's Spider-Man because no color of the skin shows. He could be black under that. He could be red. He could be yellow. He could belong to any race. And that wasn't done purposely. It was done accidentally. But I think it was the best thing we did, making him so that he could be anybody under that costume.
And people take those words and twist it around.
Exactly. They really emphasize on the word imagine too.
Yeah, they're like, they could imagine. That means that doesn't mean that he could. That's not him saying that he could be, that Spider-Man could be anything.
It's ridiculous,
that they
man.
could imagine it. Like, bruh.
It's kind of both funny and a little sad.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, I'm tired of it. The Spider-Man community goes back and forth, goes back in circles around like the same 5 things, and this is the one thing that I'm like, I don't want to go back around on it.
Yeah, I hope this is over with by the time the movie comes out or before. That'd be cool.
It won't be so long as the fandom menace has like a public presence. The best way to deal with them is just don't engage. When Nerdrotic posts out the whole Miles Morales stuff, just don't engage.
God,
ignore
I forgot
him.
Nerdrotic even has a platform at this point.
See? Exactly. Just don't engage with them and we'll be good. Like going forward, just don't engage.
Exactly. But you know what? We've talked about a lot of things that kind of piss us off for the last like 40 minutes or so. So I think we'll end this nicely about what are you excited for in 2023, just in general.
Oh, in 2023, okay, all right. There's a couple.
A lot of really great things coming in 2023.
Mostly game related. It's
mostly
video game related. So one thing already, I got this for Christmas. I got enrolled basically game developer conference. It happens a few times the year. There's one happening in March in San Francisco. I'm excited because I got tickets for that for Christmas, so I can go in and do like networking stuff and hopefully get a job like how a couple of my buddies did.
Let's cheer for our boy.
Yep. We're hoping. We're also hoping that somebody at Marvel sees my screenplay and hires me too.
Everybody go scour the internet and Scooby-Doo this shit and post that screenplay in every single platform you know.
We'll have the screenplay link in the description again.
Get it on fucking Tumblr. Put it on Tumblr. I don't know. Maybe people use Tumblr now.
Marvel's looking for talent that doesn't have very much professional experience. I'm right here, Marvel. I'm cheap. I'll save you money.
He'll pay. You can pay him in Dr Pepper cream soda, and he'll be fine.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Not gonna lie. But yeah, so there's that. I'm excited for that, and then Star Wars Jedi Fallen Survivor.
Yes, that game looks so fucking good.
Jedi
Cross Guard, the goddamn Cross Guard.
Dual wielding. Oh God, it just looks like everything I wanted and more.
Exactly.
And then Spider-Man 2, of course, that's going to come out. I really, really hope. I saw this a bit ago. Someone like screenshotted PS4 Spidey on the poster of Across the Spider-Verse and repeated, "Don't show his face, don't show his face, don't show his face, don't show his face." And I kid you not, I'm hoping at this, like, my thing now.
Just don't show his face to piss off people.
I want them to show it. I want it to be a different face than before, and then I want Insomniac and Spider-Man 2 to have a completely different face model, just to piss people off, because everyone has unreasonably lost their shit over the face model. Like, I get wanting him to have a different haircut, because I think that's the only thing that's my only issue I have with the face. If he doesn't have a different haircut, I think it's still I think the face is still fine. And I think people just reacted ridiculously to it. And honestly, Insomniac should just lean into it, change the face up completely just to piss people off, because gamers don't deserve Insomniac.
Right.
But so that and then this might be like my most controversial one, but I am excited for Hogwarts Legacy. That game looks really fun. It looks super cool, and it has pretty much an original story going through.
Yeah, I did see like the trailer for that. I didn't know it was a Harry Potter game until like I actually saw the title, but it did look a lot of fun. I'm personally not a fan of Harry Potter myself, but it did look fun.
Yeah, and like I get the whole I get at not liking JK. She obviously, for very obvious reasons, we don't like JK. And calling out to boycott the game, or at least calling out to boycott the game, fine. If you're not going to play it at all, that's fine. If you're telling people to buy the game used, it's very roundabout of regardless, JK is getting the money.
Right.
And so I just don't understand that part of it. I guess it's like I don't want her to have my money kind of thing, which I guess you do you. I don't understand it. I actually got the deluxe physical edition for Christmas. My siblings got it for me because they love me and I want to play games.
Nice.
So I'm going to be playing it. It looks really fun. I can't wait to see what the devs do, because they have like kind of distanced themselves from JK. Like, there's no way for them to fully distance themselves from her. They've just basically have kept away from her. And it's like, yeah, we're doing this. We're not dealing with anything else related to her. We're doing this stuff, and we made it up ourselves. So that's what I'm excited for. Obviously, Across the Spider-Verse, when that comes out.
There's a lot of really, like, animation really does look like it's picking itself back up from the Warner Bros. Disaster in 2023.
Yeah.
You got so many great things. You got Super Mario movie. You got the not Blue Beetle. I don't know why I thought Blue Beetle. You got Elemental, which really looks sick. I'm trying to think of what else. Fun. I know there's a lot of other ones on the tip of my tongue, but I swear for the life of me I can't remember it.
I mean, dude, Arcane Season 2 coming out soon.
Oh,
Castlevania, dude, Castlevania Nocturne, that's coming out soon. That's going to be fire, because everybody needs to watch Castlevania, because the animation in that show is beautiful.
Yeah, I think there's another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie coming out. I don't know if it's a movie or a game. I can't remember.
There's an Amazon one coming out.
Yeah, I think it was the Amazon one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Watch. By the way, everybody watch Legend of Vox Machina as well. That's another animated one. It's a Critical Role, which that's super fun. Season 1 is already out, and season 2 is coming soon. That show's really fun. Go watch Cuphead, because that has still some of the most unique animation style.
Yeah, I'm glad that Cuphead can actually use its animation style instead of not being able to pay attention to it because you're playing a fucking hard-ass boss. But
Hey, man. That style made some of those bosses really enjoyable.
yeah,
Still.
that's fair. That's
Actually,
fair.
it made all the bosses enjoyable. I never got mad at the game.
Yeah, but
I was too busy.
I think that's
Beauty.
pretty much it for movie wise. Outside of like comic book stuff, obviously, because Blue Beetle. I hope it's
Guardians
happening.
3?
Yeah, Guardians 3. Looks really good. I'm really excited
Guardians
for
3
it.
is gonna slap. Somebody's dying, and I'm not ready.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Fucking yes. I still love the first Shazam.
Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
how goofy or corny it is. I love it.
Look, the worst part of the merger is that we could possibly lose Mary Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, I really
And-
hope that doesn't happen.
I can't. If I lose her, I'm gonna be sad. She's
I'm
super
gonna be
hot.
sad. It's
She's
okay.
my
We
age.
still got Robert Pattinson. Batman.
That's true. That's true.
Let's see what else. Blue Beetle. I hope that's happening. I really do.
It's still happening.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. It's
the
very
Flash
like
show,
on and off
like-
sometimes.
yeah, that's still happening. I think that's the one movie that like, as far I think Gunn even like hinted that like yeah we can save that for the net like we can carry that over
Right.
because I think they cut like it's pretty self-contained.
Yeah. And I'm glad
So
it
it
is because we need a
anyway.
Blue Beetle movie in our lives.
Please, Jason Sudeikis as Ted Cord. Like, it makes so much sense. He's perfect. Give me a Ted Cord and give me a Ted Cord and Booster Gold, buddy cop, comedy. Like,
Let's see what
So
else. I think there's a lot of like comic book stuff that everyone kind of assume that's what I'm excited for. I'm not excited for Flash. I'm only seeing it out of respect for the people who had to deal with the shit show that
for real.
was from Ezra Miller's Chaos. But I'm really still I still kind of want to see it. I don't know. I really
It's so weird. Like, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do if the movie actually ends up being good.
I know. Like I don't know what to
Like-
say if it's good.
If the movie's good, it's gonna be like I don't know how to like.
I can't
It's gonna be one of
respect
those.
the movie, but I like it.
Yeah, like it's gonna be so. It's gonna be so many of like, yeah, the movie was good, but it's tainted by the fact that its lead actor is a felon.
Exactly.
Like,
It's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much it for movies. Games, however, ooh, there's a lot of things I'm excited for gaming. Obviously, Survivor is great.
Survivor?
I think Silk Song is Hollow Knight Silk Song is still a thing that's going to be this next year. I don't know.
Yes. That's
Yes.
coming.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm excited for that.
Death Stranding 2 for like the 4 people who haven't fallen asleep playing that game. That's coming out.
What was the game?
I'm Death Stranding 2.
Death Stranding. Okay.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we get some kind of like Sly Cooper announcement for like a remaster or something, because that would be really nice. Sucker Punch, please. I hope we also get like some Ragnarok DLC or like so we could play more as like Atreus or something. That'd be
Right.
really fun. But like games, like the game industry is in a really good spot right now.
It is.
Hades 2, dude. Hades 2. Whew, that game. That game's
Is
gonna be
Spider-Man 2 supposed to come out next year? I can't remember.
as far as so it has been confirmed right now for fall 23.
Okay.
So within the next few months, we will, and possibly like when Insomniac comes back off of their winter break, we will get a trailer, like an
Right.
actual trailer for the game.
I hope we do.
Because we got a good a decent trailer for Miles when that game came out. That was announced in fall of or revealed in the fall at the Game Awards, and then it came out in Christmas time, or not Christmas, like fall to Christmas time of the year later. So it's not uncommon for Insomniac to drop the trailer, like an actual in-depth trailer for the game a year before it's supposed to come out, and then we get like some more gameplay footage beforehand, like a couple months before.
Right. Okay. So I'm hoping that's still a thing that's happened. Overall, 2023 looks a lot better than 2022. There's been a lot of mishaps within the past year that it almost doesn't feel like it feels like it's been so much longer than a year that it doesn't feel like it feels like it's been like 2 years instead of one.
Yeah.
Like
it's weird.
I know, it's crazy. Like COVID was still a thing in this year. That was a weird thing.
I think the amount of stuff that came out this year, like, and it's kind of, I'll put it on Marvel for this. Marvel put out so much this year that it felt like we got 2 years worth of content.
I know that's probably why it felt so much longer, because you had so much shit going on with Marvel. But it was also with a lot of the problems with Warner Brothers that it felt like it just kind of went on forever.
Yeah, it just never stopped.
It does seem to be dying down though, which I'm really excited for.
Thank you, Papa Gunn. Thank you.
I'm hoping that Zaslav is put on a leash now that Gunn has taken hold of everything.
Mm-hmm. We're all hoping he's there. We're like, just let Gunn do his thing.
Exactly.
Just let him do his thing. Knows how to make good
and let
stuff.
like animators do their thing, please. Like, they're very talented people. They know what they're doing, and also, like, just let them create their movies. Like, just because an animated movie is animated doesn't mean it can't be mature enough for adults.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think the Puss in Boots movie is like living proof of that too now.
Exactly. I haven't seen it yet, but I have heard it is very mature for an animated movie.
Yeah, which that would fit with the whole it's the Logan of the Puss in Boots series.
I really hope we accidentally didn't get spoiled for that. I hope that's not a thing. But overall, 2022 was a very weird year, but the next year does look very promising. I hope we can still continue to do podcasts like these next year, because they're a lot of fun to do and I enjoy them so much.
Yeah, it's been a good time. I'm glad we've been doing this.
We get
to vent on our frustrations with stories and whatnot.
Exactly, and that's the greatest thing about that. So, anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening to us rant and have a complete mess of content creation throughout the past couple months. And thank you again, Zio, for always joining. It's always such fun to having you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's great. I have a really good time coming up here.
And I will always link your screenplay in case more of ever sees it.
We're working on. I'm working with a buddy of mine who is basically he's the X-Men equivalent of me for Spider-Man. Like that's what we're like. And so we've decided to work on another screenplay for an X-Men movie.
Yes,
so,
X-Men.
We're doing that now.
I hope I can actually be interested in it, because I've never been like the biggest fan of X-Men. I've been a fan of Logan, and
okay.
I've been a fan of Logan, and what I think, and Quicksilver, but that's about it. I've never really been interested in any of them. I don't know why. It's just not a personal preference for me.
I used to be like you. Then I watched X-Men Evolutions. Go watch
that show. Oh dear
really
God, that's another TV show I gotta add on to the many things I have to watch.
It's very quick, actually. Like, it is 20. Like, it's kind of like Spectacular, where 20-minute episodes. And the seasons are decently short. Like, first season has like 13 episodes. Second season's the longest with like 17. And then 3 and 4 are pretty short, but it's really good.
Look, if I can binge watch like Ben 10 for the ranking video, I'm pretty sure I can watch the X-Men.
Absolutely. It will make you actually like Scott and Jean, because they're good characters in this. And Logan is like not front and center for once, which is so refreshing, like, to see. And they actually do Rogue really well.
Okay. Yeah, I
Like,
might
it's
check that out. I still need to catch up on everything for 2022 because I need to work on the top animated movie tier list
I
for
got
the end of the year. That's probably gonna come early 2023. Actually, that's gonna be a very late
Woo!
one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the biggest piece of praise I can give you is that this show turned me into an X-Men fan, because beforehand I really was just like, yeah, Logan, and then Gambit. Yeah, Gambit's cool. But yeah,
okay.
the show turned me into an X-Men fan.
Yeah, I need to work out a lot of things. That's just gonna come like early 2023. I don't have the time to do what I wanted to do for the end of the year. I got the Ben 10 video out, which
That's true. That's
coincidentally enough was 2 days before the 17th anniversary. I didn't plan that. That's just
Are
like
you
a thing that
Oh,
happened.
sure you didn't.
I
Mhm.
actually did not. Like if I planned that, it would have been like the day of. But
No, see, coincidences like that just can't happen. That's contrived. 0 out of 10 writing, bro.
0 out of 10 on the channel. Crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways,
0 out of 10.
thank you all for such an amazing year. The support has been genuinely amazing. I didn't think I'd get this far at 100, sitting at 107 subs as I'm recording this right now, with a couple thousand views here and there with my videos, which is genuinely amazing. Which is why I've been leaning more towards my animated content and saving all the other stuff for the podcast, because it feels a lot easier to do. And the animated stuff is something I really love talking about, and it seems to be working, and the algorithm really likes me when I do that, so I'm going to keep doing that.
There you go.
But thank you all for such an amazing year. I'm Freakout, signing off.
Bye.